Hello and welcome to the workshop again. This time it'll be nice to feature another ongoing project. I'm not going to call it unfinished like I've been branding my other ones, because this is still ongoing and it's evolving. Well, it's evolving when I have time to work on it, basically. And this is my pirate radio setup. Its origins are from a couple of places. The first is an old video that I'll link in the description to a Vimeo video about how someone in America would put like a transmitter in the basket of their bike and just cycle around their neighborhood, and I thought that was a really cool thing to do. But I wasn't sure how to do it because I don't really want to spend a great deal of money on things. And as luck would have it, this transmitter came my way, the CZE-05B. It's a half-watt transmitter, but you can power it down to, I think, like 0.1 watt power as well. So it has two settings, and it came to me broken. Originally, this was from like the COVID days when I think in the village there was opportunities for people to gather in their cars in the car parks here, and we would just do like announcements and things to do with like the church or whatever. It came my way because the power supply, when you plugged it in, it smoked. It produced a lot of the magic smelling smoke. And so I actually found it actually powers pretty well, and for a long time, from a power pack. So in this power pack there is 8 AA batteries, and it just hooks in the back and powers it, and it works really, really well. You can actually see that it is working off a old phone, and this is the audio source, and I've written a bit of software. Now, we've been playing in our house the Fallout games. We've also been watching it on TV as well, the series, and so our radio station is based on the music of Fallout. Now, if we look at the software in a bit more depth, we can see that on the screen it displays the day, date and time, the name of the radio station, and the option to add a message if we want to, and currently how many people are online. There's only one online, or -1, it would appear. Oh dear, don't know why that's like that, but hey ho. Now, this bit of software was designed that you could have multiple instances running, and you can pop a message in, you can add a little message, and it will farm that message out to all instances. If there's no messages received, what it will do on a regular basis, it'll just read out you're listening to Volt Radio. It will interrupt the music that's playing. I'm not going to play any music because I might get a copyright strike, but it will interrupt the music probably every 5-10 minutes. You can set that in the settings, by the way, and it will just give you a name check of the radio station, as well as a time check as well if there's no messages. If there are messages queued up in the cloud from any device running the software, then it will just read it out, which I think is a very cool idea. And I've done a few tests. With this, and gone out into the middle of nowhere, so not the risk of interrupting anybody or any existing radio stations, and just found a free frequency and just plonked it down and went for a ride on the bike, and it covers quite a lot, a large distance. I know people don't like these transmitters because they're quite dirty. They produce like a dirty signal, but out in the middle of nowhere, not doing any harm. It was just for experimental purposes only, which is really cool. But I thought we could take it one step further. So let's get drawing, shall we? So I live in the middle of nowhere, as I said, but running through the middle of nowhere is a very infamous road, an A road, and it's always clogged. and the road goes up and down. So let's go up and let's go down, like so. And if you're in a car stuck in the traffic jam, you'll come over the crest of the hill and your radio signal will disappear. At the bottom is a telephone box. So let's draw a little telephone box here. And so if I set up this radio rig here, we can then sort of grab people's radios as they come down the hill, as they drive down the hill and drive past. Okay. Now the range check from the middle of nowhere was over half a mile. So from here we've got like a mile, half a mile either side, which is a huge amount of coverage. Now, broadcasting over an existing signal will obviously get us in trouble. So propose that we go for one which isn't taken. Maybe the frequency that everybody favours when they have these little weak in-car transmitters. So it'll be like right at the end of the FM dial, 87.5 or something like that. Because it's easy, isn't it? It's easy to set up, so people go with that. So maybe we could do something similar. So as long as it's stronger than what they're broadcasting in their car, which most of the time it will be, as they sweep past the telephone box, we could broadcast to them for a little while, especially if the traffic is creeping slowly. This is one instance where a traffic jam is actually favourable. But along this road, let's this isn't to scale, by the way. Along the road there are multiple takeaway trucks, takeaway vans. Okay, and we could bear in mind that this is all cloud-based. Each takeaway van could have its own transmitter transmitting in its own catchment like this, and one could put a message through the software, which will then transmit not only on theirs but also the other ones as well, which I think is a really, really cool idea. Now, like I said, this broadcasts for like half a mile either way. That's on the high setting. On the low setting, I can't remember. It's still quite far, surprisingly far, I remember, but it's all to do with location. Height, in this case, is definitely might. But if we've got a captive audience in the form of a slow-moving queue of traffic, I've also done a test to see how many are broadcasting on their little in-car transmitters on like 87.5, and it's quite a lot actually. I should really work out a percentage, but try it as you're driving along. Move your dial to the end of the FM dial on your radio and see what you can pick up as you're driving along. It's interesting to hear what other people are listening to. So anyway, that's the idea of putting this to good use, maybe. I don't know, bit of fun. But have a look at that old video that inspired this project, and hopefully you find this as interesting as I do. Thanks for visiting the workshop. I'll post another update whenever I have had time to work on this further. But in the meantime, take care and see you again soon.